is up, you guys? This is MiniSuperHeroes Today.
With the Marvel Netflix shows moving over to Disney Plus, I thought now would be a really good time to show you how to make the 5 main characters from each of the awesome shows. So let's get right into that. But first, a little housekeeping.
In the coming weeks, I'm actually going to do showcases for each of the shows. Definitely Daredevil seasons 1, 2, and 3. Maybe Defenders, we'll see. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I'll do Jessica Jones season 1 and 2 all together, and I'll kind of do all the other ones in one big one, but Daredevil has so many characters that they really should be on their own. But anyways, now that the housekeeping's out of the way, let me show you how to build these 5 figures you're looking at right now. Going from left to right in our showcase lineup that we just had, we have Iron Fist up first. Now, this one's tricky to do because he did have a couple different outfits in the show. I'll save those for the Iron Fist showcase down the line, but for right now, what I did to do this figure is I used one of the Thor heads. It's come on several different Thor figures over the years. I used this curly hair. It came in the Lego Lord of the Rings line of sets, but I think it's shown up in some other places as well. The torso is from Fun at the Beach Batman, and ironically, the legs are as well, but I did use the eraser method to take off the Batman logo from the legs. The only other thing I changed is I gave him a traditional yellow hand to show his Iron Fist. That worked out pretty well, don't you think? Up next, we have Luke Cage. I love the way that this figure turned out, man. Whew, awesome. The legs came from the Build-A-Minifigure station at the Lego store a while back, but honestly, you could use just any dark blue legs or anything that, floats your boat as far as that's concerned. The torso comes from Bruce Wayne from the Batman Lego sets, but I think it's also been in some city sets, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't look that up before I filmed the video. What you see is what you get with me. I don't script this stuff. Anyways, I put some brown hands on there to match the head, which comes from one of the police figures from the Lego Batman movie. Now, that figure came in an accessory pack, and I did use the eraser method, which is where you basically just take a pencil eraser and you push it really hard against the printing on a Lego figure, and it can take the printing off of it. Of course, that does kind of break the Purist method, but honestly, this figure looks so good that it's worth it. And if you really don't want to do that, you could use this gray hood, it's come in several different places, and cover it up. And if you didn't want to use the eraser method, you could put this hood on and it would probably cover up those sideburns pretty well. But anyways, that's Luke Cage. Now, this is a figure I made a long time ago, and I'm very proud of the way it turned out. There have been some other great customs floating around as well, like GC Bricks did a great one on Instagram recently. You should go check that out. Anyways, the legs right here came from the Lego Star Wars Imperial Engineer. The torso came from some Imperial character. I don't even remember. Might even be the same character. I don't know off the top of my head. Anyways, black arms, black hands. He's got short batons here. The head is from Bruce Banner. And what I did, if we take the hat piece off, actually, I don't think that's going to come off. Anyways, you can see I used a piece of masking tape around his eyes to cover them up so that you've got that traditional Daredevil look. Then I just took some black Sharpie and colored that in. Then the cap part here is actually a Lego cap that I took sandpaper to get rid of kind of the jagged edge and make it a little bit more rounded. It's not perfect, but I do really like the way it turned out. So let's move on to our next figure, which of course is Jessica Jones. Now, unfortunately, I really doubt that any of these Netflix Marvel characters are going to get made into Lego form. I mean, now that they're on Disney Plus, who knows? I just kind of have my doubts. Anyways, Jessica Jones leads the charge here for our last, or second to last figure, I suppose. The legs come from the Skull Boy from the Lego Collectible Minifigure series. I really like those boots with the gray jeans. The torso comes from Mutt Williams from Lego Indiana Jones. It's actually really convenient, too, because it says Mutt on the torso, but this long black hairpiece covers that up perfectly. You gotta love that. The face comes from Captain Marvel from Lego Marvel, but I think they used this face on Wonder Woman at one point, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a pretty cool figure, and I really like the way that it turned out. And last but not least, we have the Punisher. The legs I used are the same ones we used on Daredevil from that Lego Star Wars Imperial Engineer. The torso and head come from the Punisher from the Daily Bugle. Still can't believe we got an official Punisher in Lego form. So awesome. The hair comes from Star-Lord T'Challa from the LEGO Marvel Collectible Minifigure series, and the short-sleeved arms come from Ethan Hunt from LEGO Dimensions, the Mission Impossible pack. So with that being said, let's zoom out so I can give you my final thoughts. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for those showcases, and I will catch you guys next time.
Well, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and maybe check out one of my other videos listed here.